Crookie, Man United have just won 5-2. Ruud van Nistelrooy said that he wanted passion, he wanted energy. Do you feel like the players delivered that tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's difficult to judge because Leicester was so poor, and I still think there was a lot wrong with the Manchester United performance. But 5 goals at home hasn't happened too often this season, although they have saved their goal scoring for this competition. I thought there were some good performances. I thought Ugarte was very good. I thought Bruno Fernandes, having not scored all season, suddenly came to the party. Casemiro, man of the match for me. I mean, what a strike that was to get the Van Nistelrooy era off and running. So lots of positives, but still a million miles away from where Manchester United should be as a football club. And probably if Ruben Amorim is watching that game, I'm sure he is, he will have learned just how big the task is he's taking on, because there were some poor performances as well. I thought Joshua Zirkzee in particular looked a million miles off being a Manchester United player.
If Erik ten Hag was watching that game, what do you think he was thinking?
I think he'd be wondering where Bruno's goals have been all season, to be honest, and where the energy and the passion that Casemiro showed in particular has been. But I think there's still the same unanswered questions. They've still conceded 2 goals against a pretty average, and that's probably being polite, Leicester side. So it was far from perfect. The goalkeeper perhaps could have done better with one of the goals as well, but the atmosphere was decent. There was a nice moment at the end of the game when Ruud van Nistelrooy paid homage to the Stretford End. I was in the Stretford End tonight. So, yeah, I'm pleased for him. And it looks like he's going to get the next 3 games, because Ruben Amorim, I think, won't come in now until after the November international break. They're going to have to play a lot better against Chelsea. So I think if Ten Hag is watching that game, he'll learn more about his old team on Sunday than he probably did tonight.
You mentioned Amorim there. You've been across this story. It's looking like he'll be in after the international break, like you say. Do you think that's good for Ruud? Do you think he deserves a couple of games?
Yeah, I do, to be honest. I think it was a big decision from him not to go to Burnley as the number 1 in the summer when he had the opportunity. He wanted to come back to his spiritual home. I think he knew, as we all did, that Erik ten Hag was bang under pressure, and therefore it came with risk attached. And I'm pleased he looks like he's going to get 4 games to prove himself. I think 3 of them are very winnable. Chelsea, obviously, is a big test. And I hope that he'll be part of the furniture moving forward, because I think you need someone on that coaching staff who understands the fans, is part of the fabric of Manchester United, and understands the standards that United need to get to. Obviously, Ruben Amorim is bringing over 5 staff, I'm told, including a couple of assistant managers. So what title Ruud van Nistelrooy would get, it will be interesting, but I think it will be a mistake from Ineos if they were to let him go.
You mentioned Ineos there. I know that on Inside Devils we've spoken about them a lot. Do you feel like the way that they've handled this section of this whole situation has been an improvement compared to maybe being a little bit of bottle jobs of not getting rid of Ten Hag in the summer, interviewing all of those managers, not coming to a conclusion? Do you like the way, from what you're hearing, that they're handling this Amorim acquisition?
Yeah, they've been decisive. I mean, we've said it on Inside Devils. They had to be decisive because they had the summer when they did this beauty parade of potential managers. They had this long board meeting that you've taken exception to in October when they discussed Ten Hag's position. They discussed, presumably, potential replacements. So there was no excuse. There was no excuse not to hone in on a number 1 target pretty quickly and get the deal done. They seem to have done that. Actually, when I was watching the players leave at the end of the game, I saw Sir Dave Brailsford. He looked pretty pleased with himself. It was him who I think first initiated contact with Amorim last week. I saw Jason Wilcox. He too looked pretty relaxed. So they feel like they've done their job. And I guess now it's up to the new manager and these players who, for me, have still got a few gears to go through and have still got a few performance levels to improve on, to step up to the plate and salvage something for this season. The cup draw's not been particularly kind. Tottenham away, but there's some winnable European games to come. The top 4 looks out of reach potentially, but there's enough games to put that right. And obviously they've got the defence of the FA Cup, so still all to play for.